Welcome to Money Talk, making good investing easy.
This episode is all about retirement, whether it's beckoning
Or still some way off.
We'll look at why compound interest is the formula for comfortable retirement, how to make the most of a workplace pension,
Picking an income in retirement, and how women can plug any gaps in their various pension pots. Now, if you're young, you're probably not spending a lot of time thinking about retirement, but you do have one really helpful thing on your side, and that's time. It's a key ingredient of compound interest. Micah explains how it works.
What if you could turn time into money? Well, you can by making the most of compound interest. To work, it requires only two things: time and the reinvestment of returns. The power of compounding means the longer returns are reinvested, the more your initial investment can grow. Let's say we had a prudent investor who started investing at age 18. Each year, our investor puts away £1,000. Let's assume a combination of capital growth and income gives our investor a total return of 5% each year. Wind the clock forward 20 years, and by the time our prudent investor is 38 years old, their initial investment would have grown to around £34,000. Then our investor stops investing completely. Our second lazy investor spends the first 20 years saving nothing, but at age 38 sees how well our prudent investor has done and copies them, saving exactly the same amount each year and enjoying the same return. Time ticks along, and at age 60, our prudent and lazy investor are possibly grandfathers. But here's the key difference. Our prudent investor has an investment of more than £100,000, while our lazy investor is left with less than half of that. That's the thing with compound interest. How much you save doesn't matter as much as when you start saving. The most important thing is to start early, because an investment, time, really is money.
So, compound interest is a really useful tool when building a pension pot, but it's not the only help out there, is it?
That's right, Tom. A workplace pension is a really useful way of building a pension and getting some help from your employer. In our next clip, Ed Monk explains how this works.
You don't get much for free these days. Prices are going up, but the same can't be said for our pay packets.
If you've noticed recently that your money isn't going as far as it did, then you're not alone. Inflation is on the rise at a time when wages are flat, and that means there's less money left over at the end of each month. Less for spending and less for saving too. Wouldn't it be nice if you got more for your money? One of those, please. Thank you. And wouldn't it be even nicer if you got twice as much? And that's what's on offer in one area of our lives at least, workplace pensions.
Here's how it works. You'll pay in money each month, and for many of us, our employer is willing to pay in the same amount on top. That means that you could get twice as much saved on your behalf as you've paid in. The trick is to make sure you're making the most of what's on offer.
So how can people get started with a workplace pension?
Most people get auto-enrolled into their pension, so when they start a new job, they get their welcome pack sent to their home address, so it's all really easy. The important thing to remember is not to opt out of your pension. That's really tempting because obviously the contribution will affect your take-home pay, but not contributing to your pension will have a major impact on your long-term financial situation.
And is there anything else that employees need to think about?
Well, it's important to know what happens to your money. If you don't do anything, your money gets invested in the default option. That might be right for you, but it's an option that has to cater for all plan members and therefore will be quite a cautious option. So you need to decide if this is what you want or if you want to maybe select something else. But really make sure you contribute to your plan, make sure you maximize your company contribution, because at the end of the day, that's free money.
Well, it sounds like it's one of the rare occasions where you can have your cake and eat it too.
Retirement isn't just about building a pension pot, right, Tom? It's also about, once you reach retirement, thinking about how you're going to take income from that pot.
That's right, Michael. It's not about just taking a pension from your workplace or from the state. We've got loads more options now about how we structure our retirements and how we take an income from our pension pots. So in the old days, you'd buy an annuity, it would give you a fixed income for life. But now many of us are choosing income drawdown, which allows us to leave our money invested in the stock market and to benefit from the stock market growth all the way through our retirement.
Okay, so let's have a look at our next clip where Tom explains what you need to think about if you are taking income from your pension.
We're all farmers now. We need to grow our pension, nurture it, and in retirement, harvest an income from it. Retirement used to be simple. You stopped working and you picked up your pension. We have more choice now, but also more responsibility. The key thing in retirement is to pick enough income without damaging your pension pot. Think of the tree as your pension pot and the fruit as the income yield. Because we're all living longer, our pension pots also have to grow to deliver a bigger income over time so that we can keep pace with rising prices. That means cherry-picking the right investments. I went to Henley-on-Thames, where I met income investor Nick Musto to find out more. Since the financial crisis, generating an income has been a challenge for investors and particularly for people looking to generate an income in retirement. Are you seeing growing interest in equity income investing as a response to that?
Yes, definitely. Equity income investing, I think, is a great way of aligning yourself with rising income over time. It's all about finding companies that have, firstly, a decent dividend yield, but crucially, the ability to grow their dividends over time, so therefore provide a rising stream of income.
So it's not just about finding a high income, it's not just about picking the companies with the highest dividend yields, it's also about the sustainability of that income as well.
Absolutely. In fact, it would be all too easy to just focus on high yielding companies, but have no growth. And those companies tend to not do very well in the long term. It's really about finding companies that have good businesses, strong balance sheets, and the ability to grow their dividends. And you tend to find that the stock market rewards those companies with a higher share price over time, so therefore you get capital growth.
Equity income is a great building block for retirement. It provides capital growth and income, and that can help your savings last as long as you do.
Before we go, let's have a look at the unique gaps women face when it comes to retirement. Ladies, let's talk about work. You're probably giving a lot of your time, skills, knowledge, talent and energy to earn an income and pay the bills. After all, most of us don't live to work. We work to live. But what happens one day when you stop work? That's where pension comes in. There are 3 potential pension pots that could provide you with an income in retirement: the state pension, a workplace pension, and a private pension. Make sure that you've minded any glaring gaps in all 3 of these. Let's take the state pension. Your income from this pot will depend on the number of national insurance contributions you clock up over your career. Take a career break, perhaps to start a family or care for a relative, and you may end up with a smaller state pension. As for your workplace pension, saving too little, missing out on employer contributions, or making the wrong investment decisions could all dent your income from this pot. So here's what you can do. 1. Check your national insurance record. 2. Make the most of a workplace pension. 3. Save into a self-invested personal pension. Remember, you work to live, and retirement should be no exception. Hopefully this episode has given you a lot of food for thought when it comes to planning your third life.
So do keep an eye on our MoneyTalk page and Fidelity's YouTube channel, and you'll find more guidance on retirement and investment from me and my team on all of Fidelity's digital channels. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.
Goodbye.